Hey, brother.
Oh. Ooh, but I hear variations now.
Hey, brother.
Hang on, I'm gonna start it over.
You could mute it right when you do the drop too. Ooh. Do it though. Sorry.
Earlier today, I was actually working on trying to print one,
Uh-huh.
and then I was like, it's not quite ready for that. I
Okay.
also forgot to got here that I was supposed to put Sam Jackson on there too.
Oh no, that's fine.
But anyway,
I totally forgot about all the new ones. Send it.
Hey, brother.
You're my older brother, and I love you.
Nice.
Hey, brother.
You love my brother.
Hey, Romano.
You straighten my brother out.
Ooh, yeah.
Just smile, brother.
Whatever happened to Am I my brother's keeper, huh?
what's up, dude?
Dude, I love that. It keeps getting better, man.
I didn't hit the new Peaky Blinders one hard enough.
Yeah, the subtlety of it, I think, actually improved it. I'm not even joking. I think the subtlety of it being... What was the sample again?
Look at your smile, brother.
Yeah. That being tucked away.
I'm wrong. The one I didn't hit hard was I need me, brother.
Do it again. Do it again.
I need me, brother.
That could be one of the best ones on the board, man.
All right, first things first.
Okay.
We're popping bubbly.
Yeah, you didn't tell me what was going on downstairs.
Let's just get this clean because I always wanted to.
You gonna do it from the bottom?
Huh?
You're gonna squish it up so it takes off?
No.
Okay.
I don't disrespect the room like that.
Oh.
Ooh, that was a nice one.
The waveform looks beautiful on that.
Very good.
I'm gonna switch the background over. That was the only thing I forgot to do. But that's all right.
For you?
Thank you, sir.
Bubbly for me.
So what's the occasion, bro?
The occasion is I fought the law and I won.
No. Congratulations, man.
Salud, my dude.
A story time is in order. So if I recall, you had a little fender bender.
Yes.
Where you were grossly mischaracterized. And the bill was just over your deductible.
The threshold for a surcharge, yes.
Yeah, the threshold for your surcharge was at a specific number, and because the person you hit rented a car for more days than the estimate was saying or something,
Yeah.
it went over that threshold, and they were like, okay, your deductible's going up. So you were going to court to say I shouldn't have to raise my deductible, right?
That is all correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you got the verdict today, and it was in your favor?
Yes.
That's so awesome, dude.
Thank you.
Congrats.
It was actually an accident that happened 2 years ago. Right down the street from here in a goddamn grocery store parking spot. And yeah, I waited 2 years for them to schedule the appeal and was basically told that I couldn't argue that, come on, we're just over the threshold. Are you really going to give me the surcharge?
Yeah.
And so I just explained that I was pulling into a really tight parking spot between that lady's car and the thing where you put your cart back from the grocery store.
Yeah.
And let it sit for a week, hoping they would come out in favor, but I really didn't think it was going to happen. And then, what do you hear? What do you say? Today, the good news comes in.
Well, when you told me that story, you said the judge wrote down the detail about the part or the cart return. She was like, yeah.
Yeah, she goes, so you're saying it was the guardrail of the cart receptacle was right on the line? And I was like, yeah. She goes,
Oh, do you have an applause?
yes, I do.
Yeah. Hey, another cheers.
Salud.
Congrats, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you very much.
And a surcharge going up is not a small thing. That accumulates over time.
I'll tell you what, without getting into specifics.
Or sorry, deductible. I keep saying whatever.
Yeah, well, surcharge. I've been overpaying for almost 2 years now that the state of Massachusetts has ruled that this never happened.
You go on a little vacation.
I am going to get a bunch of money back by check for
Sick.
last year when I overpaid for an entire policy year.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the current year, the amount that I've overpaid is just under the amount that I have left to pay.
Okay.
So basically another couple months before it renews, I don't have to pay any car insurance money.
Wow.
It's already paid off.
That's sick.
So,
Well, where are you going to go on your trip?
I don't know, maybe the ocean.
Sounds nice.
Might go fishing. Might get on a boat.
You're going to have to find a way to kill these mid sample because the way they're all stacking on top of each other is jarring.
It depends on where you stand when you're in the ocean. Maybe I'll go to the forest.
Ooh.
Maybe at night.
Maybe there's a monkey in the forest.
Yeah, I got a couple new drops on here I'm pretty excited about.
Can you just hit the bees really fast?
Oh, it's the crickets. Hold on.
That's not a bee.
Oh my god, dude. They're coming in the house.
Is the Oprah Winfrey gif? That's a great one.
And also, so now we got that ready to go.
You son of a...
Yep.
Well done.
I mean, you should have your own also, so you can self-censor as you go along.
Yeah, man. I was listening back to the episode when Paul and Willie were over, and when you ask me, you're like, how you doing, man? I'm like, I'm doing fucking awesome. Paul just starts laughing and goes, well, it's definitely not a clean podcast. Which is funny because the more I've been watching like YouTube these days, I'm noticing that most content creators are censoring themselves, probably to get revenue.
Yeah, that's the YouTube requirement, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a toss-up. It's not. I've seen it with Taste Buds. They go back and they don't beep. They just they cut the audio only over the words.
It's like a DJ edit.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't frankly see myself actively over censoring myself on these because the more I try to talk a certain way, the less I'm going to actually say things that are meaningful. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just how I talk.
Yeah.
I definitely think the age threshold for appropriateness and swearing has gone down in general. Would you say? Or maybe like I was probably casually using swear words around my friends in what, like 7th grade, 6th grade?
That question makes me think of, I mean, neither you nor I have children.
Right.
The more that I hear in the news about how unbelievably sensitive people are regarding what their children are exposed to, both at school, especially at school, and then like careless about what they take in at home.
Right.
That's not new now. It's just that we're hearing from every single person who's got internet access what their feelings are on all this.
Right.
And I think some of the scariest political stuff in the country that's happening is related to how schools and school systems are being run, and how like there are parents and even faculty of schools that are like, they're just waiting to hear that a subject came up that they don't like, and then suddenly it doesn't.
It's like the Scarlet Letter all over again.
Sure. Yeah. So, and I'm not gonna, go on about that necessarily. It's just that, like, in general, I think maybe you're right. Simply just the evolution of technology and its accessibility to everyone beyond what it was when we were much, much younger should equate to, yeah, kids and parents are our age now. And I do think in general, we have all kind of calmed down a little bit about, like, especially swear words, and other types of adult content that, before our time was not so easily just allowed to pass through the consciousness of a child. But dude, I mean, like, the amount that young people can jump on the internet and watch reels or TikToks or YouTube shorts and just see something come past that's like how the hell did they?
How did they hear that?
Yeah.
And it's like it just came in their TikTok feed.
I used to, dude, it's funny. I feel like my childhood friend Matt talked about going on family vacations and how when we were really young, he would say that the only place he ever saw like adult rated stuff was when his family went to Las Vegas, because it was unavoidable in Las
Right.
Vegas to just see advertisements for hookers and, you know, sex shows and whatever. And I just think it's sort of Las Vegas all the time now. If you have a couple apps on a phone, in terms of
Wow.
what you're just liable to see by accident, or intentionally,
Right.
So yeah, I don't know, man. YouTube is super messed up in a lot of ways, or I have the opinion that it's not set up well to encourage creative freedom. But that's why a lot of people have left YouTube and are doing this type of thing on other platforms.
Patreon.
Yeah, I don't like that either, though. I've never liked that system for people. I feel like you instantly make yourself a slave to people that you otherwise would enjoy making stuff for if you start a Patreon level system for things.
Yeah, I have mixed opinions on people taking a Patreon approach to their, you know, creative thing. Like if it's definitely your full-time job, I can see why that's a streamlined method for receiving like donations and support funds for your like actual sustainable like situation, like your financial situation. You should, if you're doing what you're doing to earn a profit as much as you're doing it to entertain people, I think that's an all right system.
Yeah.
But I mean, you might as well just do that yourself. Like websites have a capability of putting a paywall up, so you might as well just kind of do it on your own website and not have to cut in somebody like Patreon. That's the route that nowadays makes sense to me, where you and I have the ability to make a website really easily, and we know people that are capable of helping us design a, you know, well-crafted, well-functioning website.
Yeah.
That could still, and I want to reinforce that, like, I definitely am not doing this with you so we can earn money. Like, we just hang out every week and talk about hilarious shit in the music realm and with our careers and, you know, just what we're paying attention to, that I think we both agree is worth putting out in the world as two artists, me more on the photography and visual side, you on the music side. Like, it's just like, YouTube's a good platform for us because it'll have a very high visibility, but I'm definitely not concerned about ad revenue or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think people just will appreciate that we're doing this, because I think mostly Blue Light Bandits has so many fans that I'm sure are eager to get more of a personal taste from you guys. Because like your Instagram feeds are your primary daily content stream source. Like Facebook's kind of gone.
Yeah.
I can't speak for TikTok. I don't have it, so I'm never up to date on what you guys are doing. But, you know, you guys do a really good job at making your Instagram feel very professional. And I'd say a majority of people are on Instagram to like kind of get that YouTube, like I'm tapping into their life and checking up on them and like seeing how they're doing personally. It's a weird psychology, man, because like I get why people would do that. Like I see why it became really popular during COVID, because everyone's alone and they feel like they're friends in the room and they have like a dialogue going with them and they have some sort of like personal stake in what they're doing because they don't have anybody else to share stuff with right now because everyone's isolated. But obviously this was happening well before then. But, you know, I think a podcast is a good long format to do this on, because, you know, they get a sense of who you are behind the scenes. Even just getting to hear you say a full sentence that's completely like unscripted or uninterrupted is like that's something that everybody I think wants to hear from their artists. It's why interviews were always a thing. That's not true, because you always want it. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm at this point. Well done. A perfect cap to my bullshit rant.
No, dude, I'm totally with you. I think about this a lot, because definitely out of the guys in the band, I'm the most cynical when it comes to the current age of content creation that we are in.
Yeah.
And I've always modeled what I wanted my career as a musician to be after artists who got their start 20, 30, 40, even 50 years ago in a very different music business. And I'm not going to I'm not going to declare that any time to do it was better than any other time. I think like succeeding in entertainment I think it's probably always been a combination of luck and networking and actually having the goods to back it up, and also like being self-aware and not letting your creativity completely consume you, but also letting it go where it goes. And I think that's probably always generally been the case with exceptions, but
A healthy balance between order and chaos.
But I was thinking back on like 2008 when Facebook was like just really starting to cook, and everybody's parents, ours included, were like really scared to let their kids get into MySpace and Facebook and social media in general, because it was like, what the hell even is this? And now
It was the Wild West.
yeah. And 15 years later, I like have come to resent the fact that we need to be on these platforms, and I do, like, in a Black Mirror-y kind of way, like I see how some people live their lives now, and I see that like anytime something they want to share is happening, the phone's out and it's being captured. And it's definitely like it's very cliche to even talk about this in this way, but like I've always been grossed out by the like, here's an immediate window into my life and everything that's happening around it, and I'm officially producing something now. So if a dog barks in the background, or if I say a word wrong, I'm either going to shoot it over again, or I'm going to edit those things out of this thing that I'm presenting as real. And that's why I love this medium, because it is us sharing, it's us truly being honest, and having fun.
Yeah.
And sharing stuff that I do think people who like what we do want to hear, but we're completely in control of a very simple production. It's not like it is a window, but it's like a window that we're opening ourselves and only letting enough out and in to like justify the fact that people would listen to it. And I'm starting to feel like I'm not saying anything either, but like, you know, I'm much more comfortable sharing in this setting. A close friend of the band told me recently, she was like, the only thing I ever see you share is like the records that you're listening to. And the way that she said, the only thing I ever see you share. And I thought about the word share. And
then I thought of the artist share.
Sharing is like one of the big things you have to teach little kids how to do, because it's sort of against human nature to like want to actively.
It's your instinct to hold on to something for survival's sake.
Right.
It's like, this is mine, I must protect.
Right, but to think about sharing in the context of your life, as an adult content creator, it's creepy. It's just like, and I really get weird feelings around influencers who make their spectacle just the life of their family, in cases of little kids who are too young to know
the consequences of having their persona
that they're
online.
being broadcasted. I feel like we're gonna probably laugh over the next 5 or 10 years as like kids that got famous on social media are gonna hit teenage years and be faced with the reality of like, did you hear about the gymnast, the teenage gymnast who?
No.
So I can't think of her name. I'm gonna look it up real quick. It was like Livy something. Livy Dunn. I was just reading about this. So this is I guess she's 20. Okay. For some reason I thought she was younger.
Is it Olivia Dunn?
Yeah, Livy Dunn. I was just reading that she goes to like gymnastics competitions, and they get swarmed by teenage boys.
Oh, because she's like a social media.
Because she's huge on TikTok and stuff.
Oh.
And the competitions that she's involved in now, security is like kicking out teenage boys for like making signs and being like, you know, like, I love you. Like, they call her mommy or something.
That's
like
crazy.
And she's had to go on her social media to be like, guys, please let us, like, you know, interact with me on socials, but let me be a gymnast and let the other girls that are in these competitions have a fair experience.
That's
And-
an unhealthy obsession with
Sure.
like someone like to. That's almost the same to me as going to, and I guess it's a little different because like I guess a sporting event is a public thing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like going to someone's house and just like shouting at their house like, "Hey, like I'm out here. I want to say hi."
Which
It's
people
like-
have done, but
Right.
but you're totally in your range to call the police on somebody who does that.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, and that is just, and there's so much wrong with that whole situation that I just told you about. But
Oh, critical details aside, we're
yeah. I've never been, and I will say by comparison, like Dan and I think Jay especially are in Blue Light Bandits are so good at that sweet spot of like, I'm working on something, I'm working hard on something, and I know that because I'm into this, that the people who follow what I do will be into it too.
Yeah. They'll understand your passion. They'll see your passion towards it and be curious enough to follow along for the ride because they like doing that. They like going along for the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never felt that. Like if I'm creative stuff, I have to be 100% mentally and physically into what I'm doing when I do it. And that's why I don't do it enough, because that's a very hard thing to accomplish under any circumstance.
Yeah.
And to add the element of like, oh, I'm broadcasting this too, or prepping this for broadcast, that takes me out of the whole entire thing completely. And I'm not saying it's bad to be able to do that. That's major talent. But the landscape changes so fast and so dynamically that it does concern me. Like I definitely get jealous thinking about rock bands 30 years ago in the early 90s and before, who like all they had to do was make great music and connect with a record label that helped put the music out into the world
And put them on a big stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those guys had to be on TV, and they had to, like, it's not that they were free from the negative aspects of being very influential and popular, but it certainly seems to have moved from like a few places in the world where you see these people do their thing to like everybody's got to be on all the time, 24/7. That's very, very creepy to me, and I've never liked that. And that is again why I love doing this, because it's just a much easier, like we've created a little ecosystem here where we sit down and we just talk through the stuff. And at a certain point, if things continue to go well, then this is the type of, for lack of a better word, content that fans of what we're doing and what you're doing are gonna like. They're gonna really want to dig into that the way that we do with the people that we love,
Right.
in music and comedy, especially, who do this. And it creates a nice, well-rounded experience
Yeah.
for people.
Well, it's interesting. I remember you'll be able to know who this is, but you said there was a comedian who said every comedian's dream is to be a musician. Is that Dave Chappelle? And every musician's dream is to be a comedian?
I have heard my favorite comics talk about how they're jealous of musicians being able to just play the songs that people want to hear.
And they're satisfied.
And that comedy, by contrast, you can tell the same jokes, but you deal with a very different environment every time you talk to people on stage. I don't know if that's...
No, that's a much more accurate, realistic assessment of the situation. I guess where I was going to go with it was that both comedians and musicians have a very good outlet in what a podcast is.
Yeah.
Because like both art forms are kind of like digested by the audience in short bursts. So a long format talking situation is like, it's not something you get from them normally. It's not, what you're used to hearing or ingesting as content from that group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super interesting, man. I'm really glad we're doing this. My new favorite sound effect.
Yeah, man. I had something else I was gonna. Oh yeah. My old MacBook here wants me to update to Ventura, and I was wondering if
That's the newest one, right?
Yeah, it's the 0.1 like version of it. So
Yeah.
I was wondering if you had any immediate information on.
No, I haven't been paying attention. I assume it's probably going to improve the speed since you have the M1. So that's going to be like It's just going to make that chip probably work better.
I've gone through enough updates over the last few years where the Adobe stuff just gets very upset. So I'm always a little cautious.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that, I would be the guy that sees the notification and just sends the update every time, which I know is bad. But
In this industry, dude, there's actually a really good reason to hold off before doing any updates. Like the whole fact that most of the music tech product world is dictated by how Apple and Microsoft are doing their updates.
yeah.
It's like everyone's just kind of like, it's like a bunch of dogs are waiting by a bowl, and Apple is the kennel owner and dumps a bunch of like food and is like, all right, now you can eat, and they all make a bunch of products and and then meanwhile Apple's getting ready like, all right, we're gonna update the software and we'll be fucking them this way and this way, but they'll find ways around it, and we'll build a little tool that helps them a little bit, and all right, here you go, and they just make a whole bunch more products. It's so funny, man.
Wish I had a dog on here. I'll think about
That
it.
would be a good
I'll think
sample.
about it for the next one.
Yeah, so what's the new MacBook? This is good. They don't even have the OSs like up front on their website. They must just not even care anymore. Well, the fact that they're not advertising anything major about the new OS probably indicates there are very few updates, so or very few user experience related updates. So I'm sure you're fine.
They're really leaning into the California names thing now.
It's funny, man. I've actually come to start disliking presenters who bring Apple computers. I wish everybody who walks into a business outside of the design department was carrying like a ThinkPad or like a Windows computer. They deal with like presentation and like, this was a term I learned the other day, enterprise technology. So like anything that's designed for massive company installation stuff is usually referred to as like the enterprise model. So an example, like Extron is a company that deals with enterprise systems, because it's like everything from like the touch panels to the distribution of controls for the lights and the this and the that, and it can send a 911 call if it has to, and it'll shut off power over here if it detects something's wrong. Like it deals with things on a giant network scale, not like consumer or pro audio where it's kind of this like a high powered, very intense internal network of things happening, you know, like line level audio going to front of house and monitors, and it's on Cat 5 and it's being redundantly recorded over here, and it's, you know, like that's a pretty closed system. But like an enterprise system could even be going from like a campus here in Shrewsbury to like Foxborough, and we would be on the same network and could access mutual resources. Like in our instance, like we can go on our network and like look at the like webcams for all the classrooms and stuff. So like you kind of get this sense of how connected everything really is, and then open up another terminal and like raise the gain on the amp for the microphone at that podium and all that kind of stuff. Oh crap, I guess I forgot why I launched into talking about enterprise.
This all started with Mac OSs.
Oh yeah, Macs don't like to work with enterprise technology. For some reason, the video output is just like in a language that these devices hate. Particularly the scaling switchers, which are kind of like this, you know, it's just taking HDMI signals in and you just get to tell it which one to show on the screen.
Yeah.
They hate Macs. There's this thing called HDCP, or maybe it's HDPC or something, but it's like essentially if it detects that you're showing high definition copyrighted content, it'll just put a big green block over the screen. Because it'll think you're like trying to like rip a movie with an HDMI capture card.
Oh.
That's what it's protecting against. But for some reason, these devices see that when you plug into Mac sometimes, so it'll just like black out or green out the screen, and it's like, what the hell is going on? So you just have to put an adapter in line and it decodes it, and then it's not HDCP content anymore. But that aside, because you don't even see that often in like the classrooms, but like they just don't work well with the systems. like every time we get a trouble call and I have to run off to a classroom to help somebody like fix plugging in their computer, it's like they're just using an Apple device. That's like the problem. Everything else works, no problem. It's just their computer doesn't want to work and you have to like reboot it or something. It's really weird. And that bothered me from a fundamental level. How many of those do you have? And you better have some for yourself too, you bastard. And that bothered me on a fundamental level. Oh, geez.
That's what I was doing right before I came. I was showing Ash the episode and I was listening back. I was just waiting for clean, funny things out of context. I'm not gonna play the other ones for you yet. Well,
Okay.
I'll play you the one that I feel like it.
That's so funny.
I'm just gonna get you on.
I do that a lot, don't I?
No, well, no. I actually dug pretty deep, even for 3 that like worked. Okay, I'll play the last one for you because this is gonna be great.
You just got to figure out how to massage it the right way so it works. You have too much power. I want a launch pad.
You got Ableton. This is your launch pad. I have my own. You could start doing this too. Nothing's stopping you.
I guess actually, the more I think about it, the more we could actually do that, which is really
Yeah,
funny.
why
But
not?
no, you have your job.
And we'll-
I have my job.
And we'll work our way up to having an entire podcast just drop call and responding to each other. Then we will have achieved omnipresent galactic oneness.
That's right. That's. Is that Jim Carrey?
That's from Ace Ventura too.
Omnipresent galactic oneness.
This took you 80 years to achieve. Do you want more bubbly?
No. Well, maybe in a minute. I'm just working. You can finish that. No, I'm working.
Are you sure?
I'm working on High Noon right now.
Okay, I'll kill this. It's my special day.
You're a special guy. There, where's my special guy? Oh my god.
Dude, yeah, this Andrew Callahan and Justin Roiland news is just so unfortunate for us Channel 5 and Rick and Morty fans.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Although in both cases, things are ongoing.
I was just gonna say
nobody's really. It wouldn't be wise to draw any major conclusions. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's things that need to be addressed clearly, but I'm just terrified that both of those channels might slow down or stop making such wonderful things. And I hope
Yeah.
that's not the case.
I'm very, like you said, hesitant to say anything definitive until things have been concluded.
Yeah.
But all I can really say about both of those instances is that it's just like, that's a real shame to hear.
Yeah.
But that's all I feel right now because everything else is still very much gray. So it's always sad to hear that, but we know nothing about the truth, and I'll be eager to hear what the verdict is.
Yeah.
In both cases, but I will say I think Andrew Callahan gave a very good
Yeah. I
video.
agree.
I think his video reply to that whole situation was very appropriate, and he was very sensitive to the people who might have been affected, and I think he made that the primary focus of his message. And I think he did it with a lot of elegance, and it makes me appreciate him despite the things that are being claimed against him. And it seems like he's owning up to them. So it certainly seems like all those stories are pretty factual, and I think he's a great guy. So I hope he's, is doing okay and feels like he's getting the treatment he needs and everyone's okay. Andrew Callahan, Channel 5.
You heard it first. Isaac supports domestic abusers.
That's why you subscribe to this podcast, right? Domestic abuse.
And
What's funny is I'm picturing mom at home watching this right now going, oh my God.
Well, Mom, you better.
What were you hoping that was going to be the monkey noise?
No, I was gonna say, Mom, you better check the attic. I think there might be some bees upstairs. Oh, the bees are getting angrier. They're getting closer.
Oh shit! God.
Oh man, dude, we're going to New York City next weekend.
Yep, I'm not.
I know you're not, and that's sad. We're packing light, which is gonna be fun.
No bass amp.
No bass amp needed.
Yeah, your DI sound is great.
Thanks, man. I am bringing the pedal board. Both of these places have amps and cabs, so
You gonna use the Sans amp out as your primary DI, or are you just gonna give them the end of your signal chain?
well, no, I mean, there will be bass amps on stage at both places that I was
Oh.
going to plug into.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Then you're fine.
Mercury Lounge in New York City has nice stuff across the board. The college gig we have the night before is just going to be silly, but I got to shout out to St. Lawrence University in Canton, New York, man. If last year's show we did was any indication, it's just like 100 kids who I shouldn't call them kids. They're college students. They just come out to this warehouse and they put on trippy lights,
That's sick.
and the band plays for 60 to 90 minutes, and these kids just rage. They go so hard.
Do they feel like really intentional fans?
Yeah.
That's
well,
sick.
Well, fans. I mean, I don't.
You know what I
if-
mean? Like they're at the show for the show. They're not
These
there
kids
for
show
clout.
up to hear live music.
That's sick.
You know, do you
That's
remember?
rare.
Do you remember the Z Boys?
Yeah,
from
they were
Providence.
awesome.
We played that show with them like 4 or 5 years ago.
It's kind of surf rocky.
Yeah, surf punk.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, they are great. They're still playing. We just haven't seen them in a while. But we were in the green room at this place, and it's just covered in stickers. And there's some stickers in there that are like Grace Potter and like Twiddle.
Whoa.
And like real serious bands that have been going up to this place and playing this room, which is kind of a legacy thing that passes through St. Lawrence students. I think it's called the Java Barn. And we saw the Z Boys sticker.
Nice.
We were like, oh shit, those are active friends. We sent them the picture, and they wrote back and they were like, oh, have fun. Say hey to those crazy kids for us. Like, they're awesome. And it was like, yeah, I guess that's just the culture here. Like this group of college students, like they look forward to these weekly Thursday night shows. And
And that's where you're playing.
yeah,
That's the Mercury Lounge.
no, sorry.
Oh.
That's Thursday night up at the university. Friday night, we're playing the Mercury Lounge.
Cool.
With Big Honey and Jimmy Denny,
Jimmy Denny.
an associate of yours.
Yep. Jimmy Denny was introduced to me. I actually met Jimmy Denny out of context at college. I was at my friend's apartment, and he just came over with his guitar and wanted to do some recording. And I'm burping. But yeah, he came over with his guitar, and my friend and I were doing something in Ableton, and he just wanted to lay down a couple tracks, and that was a hilarious first experience because it was like 2 a.m. or something. So we were all like super delirious, and the content ended up actually being really good. I think the track was pretty like cool and trappy, but with like kind of Dre plucky electric guitar on it. It was a nice merge of old school and new school, I thought.
Cool.
And then I really got to know Jimmy when we met Jay, and he had a bigger connection with those guys, and I got to see their ensemble kind of do their thing. And but yeah, I think you're gonna have a good time at that show. That seems like a great group to be with.
Thanks, man. It's gonna be fun. Mercury Lounge is a legendary place.
You bringing ears?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're gonna do ears at both places.
Good.
There's engineers at both places.
Good. Good.
So and yeah, it's Mercury Lounge is a quick set.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think most of us are coming home.
Really?
After. Yeah.
So what time is the show?
8 p.m.
So you're gonna be home at like 3?
No. It's one of those New York City things where like we'll play to 8:45 or something, and then we have everything packed up in 10 minutes because there's another show at 9.
It's only a 45-minute set?
I think probably even a little less than that. Yeah.
Whoa.
But we're
Okay.
it's our show, but we're sharing it with these two other bands. So each band is going to get between 30 and 45 minutes to play. If everything goes well,
This
setting
whole
up and
time I
sound
thought-
checking and stuff.
This whole time I thought you were headlining and they were just going to come up as openers, as individual like singer-songwriter type of shows. So it was going to be like you guys didn't have to break anything down, but you could like set the whole stage and
I should check, I guess, but I think everybody's playing a full band set.
cool.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Going to be a significant reunion of my Syracuse friends, many of whom are still in the city, but many of whom have moved out of New York City now that we're all 30 goddamn
Is
years
Joe
old.
going?
I would have said Joe wasn't coming to the last New York City show, and then there Joe was.
Yeah.
So it would be sweet. I heard from Natalie today. She got her ticket.
Hell yeah.
I heard from Adam Cohen today.
Whoa.
He called me actually to confirm because he said he's got a dinner plans, but it's like a block from Mercury Lounge, so he just wanted to know what time we were going on. So I'm stoked about that. And then a bunch of people from the Syracuse days who still live in and around the city. So I'm pretty stoked, man. I hope we sell some records. And
Are you bringing the cups?
we'll take a small stack of cups.
Yeah.
I bet the St. Lawrence kids might buy the cups.
Ooh. Sell out them cups. May not be bad, but keep an eye on them. I bet those would walk really fast if somebody wasn't keeping track.
I don't get that sense from these dudes. Plus we'll have John there running
that's good.
merch while we're playing. So
That's a good point.
we'll have eyes everywhere we got to be.
That's a good point.
I'm looking very forward to it. It will be our first set of road shows since we played my buddy John's wedding in Virginia back in September.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be great, man. But we are gonna miss you. There's
I'll miss being there too, man. I'd love to be there for the hang and stuff. It's just that New York City tight travel. I know that's best done with as few people as possible, and it's just gonna. I have good faith their engineers are gonna take care of you.
yeah. I mean, I'm not upset that you're not getting pulled into being the engineer for all of the bands
Oh,
that are playing at Mercury Lounge.
which would probably end up happening.
Yeah, it would. But it's
Not if they had a house engineer. Actually,
they do. I mean, it's Mercury Lounge. There's definitely.
Yeah, the last 3 shows where I've mixed for you guys, the house engineers come over and been like, "Are you taking care of the open, or you're taking care of the opener?" And it's like, "Yeah." Is that okay? And they're like, "Yeah, of course." It's just
Dude,
they're always.
you are a house engineer's dream come true when you show up for something like this.
I don't know about that. Help! I don't know how to patch this Cat 5 signal. AS45A or B?
I'm usually on top of this. I'm just not used to the room.
Yeah, no. Oh, God.
Nah.
One thing I hate is setting up a fresh mixer scene from scratch on a new venue, mostly because a lot of how the way their layout has kind of been designed as a default is based on how their house engineer just preferences patching in things, like monitor mixes. Like, I've been to a lot of places where the monitors are on matrices, and I've been to a lot of places where the monitors are on buses. And it's like, actually, wait, no, that wouldn't be the case. Sorry, that's a bad example. I meant the subs, not the monitors. Sometimes the subs are on a matrix, and some places the subs are on a bus, and it's like, you just got to pick. I personally, when I'm doing a show of your guys' size, like to put the sub channel on a bus. But now that I've been doing a lot of shows and people have been using that mono center channel of the mixer as the sub, I see why that makes sense. I'll probably keep doing that from now on. But
It's killing me that I don't have a bus sound on the board. That's a good one. Maybe I'll just clip that out of this episode's audio.
No. We have to find a piece of art for that wall, by the way.
Yeah.
I like the Durs gift on this side a lot. That's all the waveforms from my favorite album by Tame Impala called Currents. I think waveform art is a really clever idea. It's simple. Everybody can access it. It's not like the shape of the waveform is like, copyrighted. It's just kind of like a visualization of the recording. It's such a good idea. And people have been doing the same thing for movies. Have you seen where they take a frame of color from every frame in the movie? They like do an average color.
Yeah.
And they put it in one long gradient.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Some of that is really cool.
Dude, I love Disciples because I know that the valley in the very middle of it is it's just where that one snap happens and then nothing.
Yeah. That nice breath.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very cool art. Yeah, there's got to be a Blue Light Bandits thing that we can put on the wall.
Well, okay, you want a art piece pitch that I actually had when I was cleaning up the basement like maybe 2 months ago? I want to take all of Simon's broken drumstick pieces and arrange them in a waveform.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Wait a second. A waveform? Like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
You mean like just all lined up next to each other so that they're... Okay.
Yeah, centered, like you just line them all up on a center point. So it's like the top and bottom of the waveform.
Okay, yeah.
And if we pick a BLB song, we could probably make a general curve.
Ooh.
Like,
Okay.
what's the most Simon intensive drum song on the album? Probably Punk Rock Dreams.
Punk Rock Dreams from Honestly Glad It Happened, yeah, probably. Although
Patience from the new
Patience and Following Directions are both going to have crazy waveforms.
one. The endings of that are just going to be a brick.
Well, I actually think Following Directions, the choruses are going to be brick, like
Yeah.
they're all very like
super compressed.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a fun project, man.
I mean, I already have like 30 of them.
30 pieces.
Oh yeah, he's probably broken about 15 pairs of drumsticks.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. And it's all like, they all look different too because they're not all the same stick. It'd just be neat.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea, man. That there's opportunity for an Etsy store in there somewhere. By the way, I told Jay about your idea for AVSL, the handbook,
Oh my God.
and he thought that was a perfect idea.
Dude, now that you're bringing it up again, I think that could actually be really sick. Did we talk about that on the podcast?
We did. I don't know if it was an episode that we kept, but it.
Yeah. Having a book that's just a standardized list of hand signals for audio engineers and band members to communicate without having to talk into the mic and having everybody hear them.
That was our last episode because
Yeah.
it was related to Boston Calling.
Yeah. I think we might have to release the last 2 episodes close together so we can start getting up to date on what we're talking about.
That's the plan. It's not live. If anyone thought it was live, it's not live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Should we get Bill O'Reilly saying, fuck it, we'll do it live on here? Oh, don't write it and we'll do it live.
I don't want to give Bill O'Reilly any extra. Goddamn.
Extra, he's not even in the game anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
If anything, we're just like kicking dust on him.
I think if we're pulling from pop culture on the board, it's got to be brother related
Fair.
or
Fair.
come up organically on the show
Fair.
and then be a
Also
joke from the
fair.
show.
Yeah.
That's my general viewpoint.
I hate you. That's so funny.
Or, be one of us talking.
Now I'm going to be careful of everything I say because of this.
I love the fit, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Wearing my drop ship hoodie that I got Instagram baited on. And then my favorite hat that you've ever given me. Maharishi, boy. Bodega Boston. The place to get your fit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Slow rotation.
Bodega Boston?
Slow rotation towards camera.
Yeah. I've adopted that brand for you.
I'm fine with that. It just makes me sad when they release like the coolest kimono inspired jacket I've ever seen. and it's like $490.
That'd be probably on the cheaper end
Yeah,
of their larger products.
Well, that's the only time I look is when they're having a sale.
I got an email from Bodega that'll be like, new Maharishi jackets. And I'm like, I'm not even going to look.
Yeah.
4 digits at least.
Why even bother?
Why even bother?
Why are you bothering? You have to understand.
If you're gonna dress like this occasionally on the show, then I do expect to see the Cyberdog sleeveless hoodie at some point.
It's ready to go, but I just don't have. I don't think I have the. I don't think I have the arms for that yet.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
Okay.
I'm looking.
I do
up
love that hoodie very much.
to see if Cyberdog is still a thing.
I think it is.
Yeah, it is. They have a .net.
Don't they have an Ibiza location? Ibiza.
Nice pronunciation.
I ain't no fool.
I had a professor in London who was like, "Have you guys been to Cyberdog yet?" And
Professor told you that?
yeah, he was like a grad student professor.
Was he also a go-go dancer?
Actually, I'm sure I'm sure that's possible, if not definitely true.
Cyberdog is a store that sells rave gear and has live go-go dancers lining the roof.
I think it's probably important to specify too. We're talking like fairly retro style rave gear.
I don't know about that.
No?
No, it was very like I would say it's called cyberpunk style. Like,
I got very 90s vibes from the store.
was it just because they were playing 90s music?
Well, that had a lot to do with it, but like we visited the store 10 years ago when you were, I will dare say, in the scene a little bit.
Yeah, no, I
with
was aware
the
of
EDM music of the early 2010s, which sounds way different than the music they play here. And in general, I think the look goes along with that.
No, I'd say you're accurate on that. It's
Anyway.
The way I interpreted it when I was there was that it was very like it seemed very modern to me, primarily because I was in London for the first time, and everything
Yeah.
in London is kind of like the cutting edge of like fashion and style and whatnot. So you walk into a store expecting to just see like kind of cool stuff, and then there's 2 giant chrome dog statues on either side of the door, and there's like the loudest low-end sub coming out of the door. And
Like,
you
is
walk
this
in,
the never-ending story?
yeah, and you walk in and everything is blacklit. There isn't a single thing that isn't a neon like day glow color. There's dancers on railings around the top ceiling edge. There's like lights and lasers. It was nuts. And then you go down an escalator. It was just like I was so overstimulated and just like, this is the coolest place I've ever been to, playing music that I am super into right now.
I'm going to spend $50 on a sleeveless neon green hoodie.
I think I spent more than that.
Well, it was 50 pounds, which was
Right.
probably like $90.
Right. Yeah.
Did you go down to the lowest level?
No, but you told me what was down there though.
Sex toys.
Like tentacle sex toys.
Yeah, like alien stuff.
Yeah. The stuff you can like squeeze fake eggs into yourself with.
That's what my professor said, though. He was like, has anyone been to Cyberdog? And we were like, no, not yet. And he's like, if you go there, check out the lower level.
Oh my God. Why were they telling you this?
He was a bit of a provocateur.
Fair. What class was this? No. No, maybe we.
No, it's fine. It was a forum class on I think it was called like performance, like the history and culture of performative art.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It was cool. It was cool. Our professor was like an American doctoral candidate, but he just seemed to be like a crazy nightlife party guy. Ooh, I should. Wait, that probably doesn't. No, I bet it does.
Oh no, I got the blip. I can see you.
Sorry,
Stop
guys.
making all this noise.
We should have flipped on the DND for the show.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, he was. I mean, like he was younger at the time than I am now. You know, so he's just a slightly older American college student teaching classes in England to American.
You're 30, right?
I am.
Yeah.
You're my older brother,
And I love you.
You're my older brother.
I actually meant to just hit "Hey brother," but hitting
Hey, brother.
"You're my older brother and I love you" was probably a better drop for
Yeah.
you asking me if I was in fact 30.
It might be a good policy for you to just commit to whatever it sounds like and be like, I meant to do that. Like the crickets earlier. You're just like, yeah, crickets. That's what I meant. Yeah, you don't get it because you're stupid.
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't get it?
I'm the one in charge of the drops. I'm the one.
I am the one who drops.
So, ooh. Could Walter White quotes be relevant?
Possibly. Does he ever talk about brothers? No, probably not.
Does he call Hank his brother-in-law? Brother-in-law quotes don't work.
Hey, brother-in-law.
Hey, brother-in-law.
Hey, father, Uncle Oscar.
Play a couple of those. Sorry, I just need to hear.
Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, Romano.
I took off the
Hey, Hermano.
I took off the one where he's like, "Hey, brother," because the shaker in the background is it's too much in the sample.
But you still have the, who are you calling, brother?
Oh yeah,
Will Arnett.
yeah, that one. Oh, I couldn't edit it in a way that I liked.
It's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough. It's the fact they cut it short themselves made it almost well appropriate, but also incapable of being used as a secondary drop for us. I got some harsh words for their audio editors.
yeah.
Well, man, we're pretty much at an hour.
I can hear the radiator coming through the system now.
Yeah, it seems the house is telling us to stop podcasting.
Fair enough,
Good
dude.
old steam.
That was fun. Thanks for rolling with me on the new drops.
Absolutely.
Promise I'll work the board better next time.
Oh, no, you're fine, bro.
And let's do our plugs.
You first.
Blue Light Bandits is playing Mercury Lounge in New York City Friday, January 27 with Big Honey and Jimmy Denny. The show starts at 6 p.m. Grab those ticks at bluelightbandits.com. And while you're there, check out the merch page. Buy yourself a vinyl. Buy yourself a t-shirt. And after another week or two, buy yourself a silly pint.
Cups.
And you can follow the band at Blue Light Bandits on Instagram, on YouTube.
What's your personal handle, bro?
And for me, Ethan Bates Orchestra. An old handle of mine, but still active.
You're a whole orchestra in a single person.
And what about you?
My
Hey,
name,
brother.
I go by the name Bad Luck, taking photos and videos and recording podcasts and stuff. And you can find me at Bad Luck Good Vibes on Instagram or badluckgoodvibes.com, whereas that's where I'll be posting my stuff. So thanks for checking us out, and we'll catch you next week.
Are you laughing at my brother?
No, I'm not. Sick. Oh, I love this. All right, we're good there.